Hey, if you like horror, if you like real horror, real American horror, this is the book you need. It has real American horror. It has a taste of everything. Christian extremists, Muslim extremists, viruses, deadly viruses. I'm telling you, man, this is like the Alex Jones of horror. This is like the collective unconsciousness of American society in a horror form. In a book, you have, like I said, Christian extremists, Muslim extremists, deadly viruses, bullying in the schools, bullying to the point of death, bullying to the point of wanting to shoot up a school. That's what's in this. That's what's in this. You have crazy politicians conniving, coming up with schemes to ruin society, to ruin America, to ruin the world. This all in this book. Every story has its own flavor. Every story is like a taste of a fear, of a horror that is real, that is something you can actually experience, because that is what this is, real American horror. Put down that fake stuff and get this. Amazon, get paperback or ebook. You have a good one. Hey, how's it going? Horror Talk Radio. I'm your host, MrDeadman. How's it going? How you guys doing? How's it going, Candace?
You doing good. How are you?
I'm doing all right. Now that Real American Horror has been plugged a little bit, feeling pretty good. Oh, man. Okay, I was having fun with that. The Alex Jones of horror. That's not even true. Wait until they get a load of the conspiracy issue. Oh man, that one's even better. Anyway, tonight we're talking about serial killers, crime thrillers with Candace Owens. It's like that. Oh my God, it's like Candace Owens. Oh my God, it's a big mistake. Oh, how did that happen? I'm horrible with names. I'm telling you, it's Candace. I'm sorry, Candace Adams. All right, Miss Adams.
Well, now you gotta buy a book to make it up to me.
I know. Or maybe I could sell a couple of books for you. Maybe I have that energy. We'll see.
That works too.
So I always start off with one question with all my guests. Who are you and what do you do?
Well, my name is Candace Adams, not Owens. And I'm a Marine Corps veteran. I am a published author of 3 books now, going on 4 as of January 1st. And just writing and working. That's basically life.
Man, that is a huge accomplishment. Since January 1st? 3 books?
Well, January 1st is when the next book is coming out. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh my, because you said since July, that we have these 3 books.
Right.
Oh man, that is momentum right there. That is dedication. That is focus.
Well, 3 books and 1 anthology, so 4 publications.
Oh, now it's even more. 4 publications. Okay. Still, I mean, that's a pretty big deal there. I mean, there's many authors who take like a year to write something, or 4 months, 5 months. Wow.
It takes me about a month.
It takes you about a month. So where do you get that dedication? Like, where do you get the momentum?
I keep apps on my phone so that I can keep track of my word counts every day. So I set a goal for myself for when I want to have something done, and I make sure it's done by then.
Wow. So no distractions, no Twitter, no Netflix, no YouTube.
Oh, there's a lot of distractions.
But you know how to manage them. I mean, clearly the.
I know how to stop when I need to.
There you go. I mean, is there a secret to that discipline? Because.
Yeah, Marine Corps boot camp.
There you go. So maybe we all need to go through that experience just to shapen us, harden us for life. What do you say about that? Would you be good with that?
I'm okay with that, but I don't think a lot of people would make it.
I think it would toughen up a lot of people, though, myself included. Man. Okay. But now, did you start off in horror? I mean, or because I noticed you kind of write like a mix of horror, like in crime thriller.
Well, I take a lot of my inspiration from true crime. I watch a lot of true crime shows, and if I see one that I think is very, very interesting, I'll make a fiction story around it, which is pretty much what happened with Strangers.
Nice. And what was the true story that fascinated you with that one? The Strangers.
There was a story in Europe. I can't remember exactly where, but there was a husband who was accusing his wife of having an affair, but she wasn't. But to try to catch her, he pretended to be a man on the internet, and he actually started stalking her. And he ended up stalking her for 5 years, had her on the brink of suicide. She was scared to leave the house. She was getting letters and emails and text messages. And after 5 years, she went to go visit a sister, and he sent her a picture of her standing in line for the airplane, and airport security was able to get him on the cameras taking the picture, and that's how she found out it was him.
Oh my. Okay. Yeah, this one, the name is, I'm drawing a blank on it, but I remember kind of what you're talking about. I remember hearing about this.
Yep.
Yeah. No, yeah, this guy.
Might be able to find it.
Man.
He ended up getting, I think, 3 years in prison, and he was torturing her for 5 years, so it really wasn't fair.
Wow. And it was a husband that was just trying to prove that his wife was cheating on him by acting like a guy that was interested in her?
Yep.
Wow. Wow, imagine that. The guy is so paranoid, he actually tried, he created sock accounts, troll accounts, to harass his wife, try to simp to his wife, but she wasn't taking the bait. She wasn't taking the bait. So
right.
that should have been a sign right there. Hey, bozo. Hey, your wife isn't cheating on you. You're an absolute insane person. You're being insane. You know?
Yeah, for 5 years. I mean, she was ready to commit suicide and everything, and he just kept going.
Man.
And he was being super supportive of her. He was like comforting her. Hey, we'll figure this out together. And it was him the whole time.
And he never clicked. It never. Oh, there had to have been some. Not to play devil's advocate, but there had to have been a point to where the guy, something before he went full psycho. I don't know. There had to have been a point to where he's like, you know, she's not cheating on me, but this power I have is too good. I'm not gonna let it go. Like there had to have been a point to where he's like,
so
I don't know. It's just so weird.
The real guy's name was Paul Plale. Just looked it up.
Oh wow. Man, that is some warped stuff right there. So while he's harassing her, he would.
Yeah, I mean that's.
At the same time,
that's the scariest thing I think could happen because it's somebody that you trust.
Yeah, and not that it's a good idea. Don't do that. don't create stock accounts and stalk your lover, your partner, or whatever. If you think they're doing something on the side, you know, just ask them. Just ask them. Really have a conversation. Right. Have a conversation with them. Okay. Don't be all accusatory either, because that gets them all defensive. Just have a conversation about it. But don't create stock accounts. don't harass them. But okay, so Stranger is based on this story. But how did it change? How did it become its own? How did Strangers become its own thing?
Well, in my book, it's not clear through the book who the real stalker is. You don't actually find out that until book 2. So in book 1, you're going to be pretty sure you think you know who it is, but I can guarantee you're wrong. Okay.
And also, I'm going to pause real fast. There is going to be a horror trivia tonight. Towards the tail end of this episode. Candace Adams is gonna have a chance to win a $10 prize if she can get. I don't know if she can win this trivia, pretty much. If she can't, then I'll open it to callers, and they'll have a chance as well. We'll see what happens there. The link to the Discord will be dropped in the chat during the show at that appropriate time. Anyway, okay, so now, was Strangers your first book?
It was not. The Witch Hunter was actually my first book.
The Witch Hunter. Okay, tell me about that one.
So, The Witch Hunter is a time travel, it's considered a dark paranormal romance, but I wouldn't really buy it if you're looking for a paranormal romance because it's very dark. It's very historically accurate. If you're into the witch trials in Europe and you want to know how the witches were really tortured with a side of romance on the side, it's probably exactly what you want.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, how dark does it get?
There's dubious consent involved, time accurate torture with all of the torture devices that they did use back in that time. And I am no stranger to using as much detail as possible, so I don't leave anything out.
Nor should you be. I mean, I for one, I mean, you could just listen to any horror talk radio episode where there's a horror writer. We usually end up talking about what we cannot write about. I'm usually defending, you should be able to write about anything. Like if you're writing a story about witches and you're going back in time with the witch trials and they're doing horrible things back then, the name, oh, she's a witch. Let's burn her at the stake. Let's torture her. Let's gut her. Let's behead her. Let's rape her. Let's do all this stuff. Give her to my men. They can have their turn. They did horrible things. So if you're gonna have a story about that, I'm sure those details or details like that are gonna be in the book, and it should be kind of expected. I would think. It's kind of. I would think it should be expected. But
I was just under the impression that if I was going to write a book and I wanted it to be historically accurate, that I wasn't going to leave out the details.
Amen. Amen to that. That's how it should be.
I'll actually, I'll put a link in chat here if anybody wants to check that out.
Oh, definitely do so. I mean, and it's not like the dubious consent stuff was in there to like glorify it or anything. It was in there because it was part of the story. It showed how vile the guy was, and it's something that the people did back then. I mean, people still do it now. People still abuse power now. Right.
It was important to tell that part of the story because it was something that was definitely happening.
And I take it that there were some you got some flack for that.
A little bit. My publisher thought I should take a few of the scenes out. She thought they might be a little bit too much for people, but I told her absolutely not.
And they sided you, right? I mean, they sided with you?
They did.
Good.
I told her my book might not be for everybody, but the people that do like that stuff will like it. And it's got all 5-star reviews on Amazon, so apparently somebody likes it.
Right? And that's good. I mean, so while you had the publisher say that, this might not be so good, what about the audience in general? I mean, we're looking at 5 stars, so I'm taking it, that it was received well. I mean, what has been the feedback that you've received?
Funny thing, some of my feedback I'm receiving is that men like my books better than women.
Wow. I can expect that. I can see that. Now, not to say that women are, I'm not trying to make a general statement about women. I would never do that. A man over here wearing shades. I know you can't see me right now. I'm wearing shades and a hood. Look. I'm just saying, it's more likely that women may have a problem with women being raped in a book than men, and not saying that men are looking for that or getting off to that or anything. It's men. I'm going to say that most men maybe would look at that like, okay, that's actually kind of expected to happen. Like what that character is doing is kind of the expectation because it happened, and it makes sense for the book.
Right.
Yeah.
And I'm unwilling to sugarcoat anything. So when you pick up one of my book, you got to be sure it's what you want.
Now, what about? Let's move away from the rapes over here. But what about the grotesque violence? What about? I mean, what are some of the horrible ways that they tortured supposed witches back in the day?
So one of the ways that I explained in my book was they would do a thing where they would swim a witch. And what they would do is they would take the thumb on the right hand and they would tie it to the big toe on the left foot, and then the left thumb to the right foot. And then they would tie that person around a log or, something thin that they could lower her down into the water with. Okay. And that way she couldn't swim. And if she floated, she was a witch. And if she sank and drowned, she wasn't a witch.
Oh, yeah, I remember that. I didn't realize they tied them, though. So...
Yep.
So how are they supposed to swim if you tie their hands? That makes no sense.
Yeah, they're not supposed to swim. They're supposed to either float or sink. So you either drown and you go to heaven, or you float and then you're hung. So.
Well, I mean, okay. That doesn't... Oh, God, these people were so freaking stupid back then. Jesus, that doesn't prove anything.
Right.
It proves she's a witch. No, I mean she's just floating. She's a pretty good floater. She's floating. It doesn't prove that she's a witch. No, I want her dead. I want to take her property. I remember hearing about that. Like a lot of them were falsely accused because of land rights and stuff. Because a lot of them were widows. Like they lost her husband. What's a woman doing with all that property right there? Let's go ahead and make her disappear. Oh yeah.
Well, and then family members would accuse their other family members of being witches if they were like old and infirm, or if they were mentally handicapped, or they just didn't want to take care of them. They would say, "Oh, she acts like that because she's bewitched," and then they would hang her.
Right? Just like that. She's a witch. I mean, what is the most absurd thing you could be accused of, or most absurd reason why you'd be accused of as a witch? Oh. You smell funny.
Some people would be accused because they would have a birthmark, and somebody would see the birthmark and they would think it was a sign of a witch.
What about a fat ass? I don't think they would be accused of... Maybe. Sorry, not to go there, Candace, not to. I was just thinking. I mean, a witch with a woman with a fat ass be like, nope, she's the devil. We'll burn her. That's
I mean, in my book, a woman gets accused because she's getting attention from a certain man that another woman wants. So the woman that's not getting attention accused the woman that is getting attention because she must be a witch if he's giving her attention.
Damn it. And while I make light of it, kind of joke around. I mean, it's serious. It happened. And man, it doesn't take much at all. And your book goes into detail about that.
It does.
Man, so guys, if you like that is The Witch Hunter. It's on Amazon. I take it you can get it in paperback and ebook, both?
Yep, paperback and ebook, and it is being recorded for Audible right now.
Sweet. Nice. Now, The Strangers that we talked about earlier, it has a sequel coming out, Stranger Steel. That's the one that caught my eye.
It's actually released now. It released on Halloween.
Nice. Okay. Man, you are like a writing machine. By this time next year, you're going to have like 8 books out. You could.
I have a pre-order right now for the book that's coming out after the third Strangers book. It's called Sins of the Blood. It's going to be my first vampire book, and that comes out on February 25th.
Look at that. Okay. Writing machine. And before we went live, I was telling her about the killing fields over here near the Houston, Texas area, League City, which the reason why I'm talking to her about that is because Stranger Steel kind of reminds me of the killing fields. And really the reference is vague. It really doesn't mean anything. It's because one of the characters was from Houston. I was like, oh, it was a... Hold on. I'll take care of someone. Yeah, it's just the reference was kind of odd But it just reminded me of the Killing Fields because it was like a bodies stacking up, and someone being from Houston, I was like telling her about it. But yeah, she didn't know about it. But now that could be a future story idea, or at least fuel for one. Yeah, definitely check that out. The Killing Fields.
It's definitely on my list to check that out.
25-acre land, 30 bodies from 1970s. Yeah, it's a real thing. Crazy. But anyway, so tell us about Stranger Still.
Stranger Still is from the perspective of a serial killer and how he gets his start. So at the beginning of the book, he hasn't killed anybody yet. He's actually a cop on the Boston police force. And he took a job in the police force because he was able to exude brutality over people and basically be a boss without anybody telling him no. And he was getting away with things that way because he had all the power. But he slowly slips into insanity, and throughout the book, you're going to see that his dead father is actually in his head telling him what to do, and you're going to hear from the father. And he has a lot of flashbacks from his childhood, and you're going to see just how this guy came to be. So he had a very tormented past, and again, I didn't leave out any detail there. So if you have a weak stomach, if you don't, you're going to love the book. If you have a weak stomach, you should probably skip a few chapters.
I mean, the guy was tormented in his head, and he's a cop. He's a cop, and he has voices in his head telling him what to do.
And he hid it from everybody.
Wow. He's the last guy you
The
want to have
captain
a
of his police force thought he was the best cop on his force, that he always solved the cases. Didn't know there was anything wrong with him.
And this guy was secretly dropping bodies.
Well, throughout the book, he's going after one person throughout the book, but he's killing people around this person to get to her. So you're going to find out more about him in book 3. He gets much darker, much more in depth in book 3. So book 3 is going to be the culmination of everything, and it's going to be quite a wild ride.
Oh man. I mean, while the first one kind of stemmed from that real life scenario where the husband was creating stalk accounts to stalk his wife to pretty much to death, to suicide, does Stranger Still kind of have that? Like it seems like the guy is a cop and he's stalking, I guess, like a love interest. I'm assuming. I don't know how they're connected, but he has the voices in his head telling him what to do.
You find out how they're connected in book 2. Through book 1, you don't know how.
Oh, okay. Oh, I bet. Oh, because in his book 2, from his perspective?
It is.
Oh, okay. Okay, so you're really going to know how he's thinking. How was that? How was it writing in the mind of your killer?
Well, I can tell you that when you get really deep into these characters, it starts to change you as a person. I was a little bit meaner while I was writing the book. It's just, you really start to embody your characters, because the more you get into them, the more you develop them, the better you know them, the more they're you.
I mean, did you require any sort of therapy afterwards?
Oh, no, just moved on to the next.
I mean, how bad is your character? I know he's killing people. That's pretty bad. But how bad is he? How bad of a murderer is he?
Well, one person that he kills, he abducts him in a hotel room. He knocks him out, puts him over a bathtub, disembowels him, dismembers him, wraps the body parts up in saran wrap to take home, burns them so there's no fingerprints or anything on them, and then he scatters them throughout dumpsters in the area because he wanted him to be found. He just didn't want any evidence on him.
Right. Wow. That's pretty. That is pretty gross. That is a way to get rid of a body, or to kill someone, to knock them out, gut them, disembowel them, drain them of their blood, burn them. Wow. And I take it it's pretty detailed.
It is.
Nice. Gore fans are gonna love this book. They definitely are.
Not to give anything away, but a bum going through the dumpsters actually looking for food actually finds the body parts wrapped up in the saran wrap and thinks that it's food from a butchery and actually eats part of him before he realizes that it's a human body.
Whoa, Candace, that's good. That is a good moment right there. I mean, it's because it's like shocking, but hey, yeah, that's gonna happen. That's gonna happen. It's real. You know, and in that scattering body parts in dumpsters is real too. Not too long ago, I think earlier this year, I was reading true crime reports where, you know, I think it was Detroit, just bodies all over the time, you know, but like burned and charred to the point to where they couldn't even recognize them, you know, left there, bam. I was like, okay, it happens quite a bit. Dead bodies everywhere, you know. Whew, man. Okay. So, with Stranger Steals, what was the biggest hurdle or obstacle that you had to overcome writing it?
The biggest obstacles with Stranger Still was that when I wrote Strangers, I didn't know that the sequel was going to be from the serial killer's point of view. So when I was actually writing the second book, I had to explain how he pulled everything off in book one. So there were some things that he did in book one that I really had to break my brain to figure out, okay, how did he get away with this?
Let's see. It helps that he's a cop.
Right.
Helps it that he has his connections there. Man. I'm just thinking here too, it's like if that character's so messed up. And I remember not too long ago I was like in some sort of Facebook writing group, they're like explaining how difficult it is to get into like a messed up character's mind because like they're afraid of exploring it. It's like, I like that you're not afraid of that. I like that you're willing to explore that. You're willing to go hard on that because that's what creates a compelling character. That's how you get like Tony Soprano from The Sopranos. You get in the mind of the character and you write it. You don't be afraid of it. If your character is a monster, he's a murderous monster, that is what it is.
Well, people love my villains. I've been told that I write better villains than anything else.
Now, what do you think our fascination is with crime thrillers? Where that comes from?
I would imagine it's probably because it's so outside of the realm of anything that happens in our real lives, or because of the things we do go through in our real lives. It makes us kind of feel better about the bad things in our life because we're like, okay, well, at least this isn't happening. Mm-hmm. So I think it's that. I think it's fascination with something that you might not ever see.
Fascination with something you might
It's like a train wreck. You can't look away.
Yes. So you're bored with your own life, and it's like a distraction, but it's also like you see it, but there's a comfort knowing that it may not happen to you, like that.
Well, you know how if you're driving down the freeway and there's a really bad accident and mm-hmm. traffic backs up because everybody wants to look.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like that, I think.
I know.
Like a morbid curiosity almost.
Yeah, that does explain it. And even with that phenomenon, it's like, why is that? Why is it that we're concerned about that? The wreck has nothing really to do with it, especially if you're just passing by and it's not even blocking you. It's like the wreck has nothing to do with you. You know what it is. It's a wreck. But for some reason, it's like, oh, what's going on there? What's going on there? What's going on?
And everybody's trying to take pictures and hanging out their window and trying to see.
Mm-hmm. You know, I wonder if that fascination is similar to like our fascination with like drama with other people's lives. Oh, what's that? There's a train wreck. So someone's life is going to shambles. Some celebrity's life is going to shambles. What's going on there? What's going on?
That's probably the same reason why everybody likes watching the reality TV.
Right. Reality TV, got big because people want to see people do stuff. It could just be anything. They could literally, right now on YouTube, people are watching this. It's kind of a reality show where these idiots are in an RV, live streaming all the time, and it's just these IRL streamers, And really, they're deadbeats of society. They're like the dingleberries of society, the turds of society. But people watch them because they want to see them get arrested. They want to see them piss someone off and get beaten up. They want to see the RV blow up. You know,
Right.
they're not watching for good reasons. They're watching because they want to see how bad it gets. Okay, so that might explain our fascination with crime thrillers, because true crime podcasts are still popular, you know, and they're not going away. Like, if you want to have a successful...
I think a lot of with the true crime podcast too, I think they're always trying to figure out how somebody became the way they are.
Mhm.
Like, how did this happen?
Yeah. And there's some podcasts that go pretty detailed into that, and they explore that. You know, they give their own little twist, own little
And then you
spin.
always have the people that are like, oh my God, that's exactly how my uncle acts. Or, oh my God, that sounds just like my husband.
Mhm. And then of course you have unsolved mysteries.
Right.
Oh man, that stuff, man, I can't get enough of that.
And then you have the Scooby-Doo of the world that's trying to figure out what really happened. So that would be the fascination on that.
Mm-hmm. Now, what about our fascination with serial killers? Because I take it you know a couple things about
Wow,
serial killers.
I do, and serial killers are a whole different beast. I mean,
Mhm.
most of them come from broken families. Almost all of them have had some kind of head trauma growing up. So,
Head trauma is a common thing. Yes, common correlation. I hit my head on the ground once, but I haven't killed anybody yet. We're good.
yet being the key word, right?
For legal reasons, yes. Sorry. But yeah, head trauma. But the fascination, though, when I say fascination, some of these guys, they get groupies. They get groupies.
They do. They get fan mail and jail, women that want to marry them.
Mm-hmm. I mean, so...
I think Ted Bundy had like 30 marriage proposals while he was incarcerated.
Mm-hmm. Ted fucking Bundy. They wanted to marry his ass. He was probably going to kill him and dump him, but they wanted to marry him. Hey, Candace Adams, explain that to me. Like, what's happening there? Why did these women want to marry a serial killer?
You know, he was a very good-looking man. He had a whole lot of charisma. When he talked, people listened. The women thought he was just as sexy as he could possibly be, and I think it gave them a rush to think, this dangerous, sexy man, I want him.
Well, I guess so. I'm looking at images of him right now. I guess he looked all right. I mean, he looked kind of basic. He looks kind of basic to me.
He's not my type.
Yeah.
He's definitely not my type, but everything I read on him or watch on him, everybody thought that he was just fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, if I was gonna go gay, I would not have that experience with him. I would not experiment with him, not at all. I like the more chiseled guys. Sorry, that's too much. But yeah, these chicks, like he would hit him and quit him, like literally, their life would be quit, over, game over.
Yep.
In the ditch somewhere.
And every one of the women that he killed had a striking resemblance to his ex-girlfriend who broke up with him.
Ah. So, I guess he never got over he never got over his ex.
Nope.
Oh man. And now I heard too that women, maybe it could be explained that women like serial killers because it's I don't know, like a sign of strength. I don't know, like that they some women, I guess, gravitate towards like strong men, and they see like a serial killer. He's I don't know, something about it seems dangerous, but it seems like he could protect me too.
Yeah, you know,
I don't know.
I would assume that a lot of the women that fantasize about serial killers probably had issues growing up. They probably had fathers that beat them and treat them horribly. They probably thought that was normal. They
Hmm.
were probably looking for somebody that was just like that because that's what they're used to. And then they see this guy and they're like, that's the epitome of everything I'm looking for.
Yeah, that could be. That could be. You know, another way to look. It would be interesting to
They
contrast
need
this
better idols.
with. It'd be interesting to contrast this with like female serial killers. Like, do female serial killers, do they get a bunch of men that kind of want to simp to them?
I know Eileen Warnos. She was killing men, saying they were trying to rape her, but because she was a sex worker and she would get into their trucks, and then when they would try to go too far with her, she would kill them.
Right.
But she was actually a lesbian, so she actually had women that were they're writing her in prison.
Hmm. Okay. Now.
But back on the bad childhood though, she had a father that was raping her.
Well. Yeah.
So it's no wonder that when she's being a sex worker and having sex with men, and then she's killing the men, I'm assuming it had something to do with her father.
Yeah. Yeah. It doesn't sound like a good beginning there. I'm trying to keep that a little light, but yeah. It's true. Like when they have that traumatic experience, head trauma, and life being violated like that. Yeah, it's definitely gonna lead to major issues, but it leads to wanting to kill. But man, some of these guys, they get groupies, they get followings, you know.
Oh, look at Charles Manson. He never had to kill anybody. He just had his groupies do it for him.
Right? Can you imagine that power? Not that I want it. I'm just saying. Like, oh my God, I'm painting myself in a bad light here, aren't I? The FBI is gonna be talking to me tonight or tomorrow, again. Jesus. But
I've always said I'm going to be in big trouble if they ever see my search history.
right. That's the thing here. That's the thing. If the FBI was going to talk to me, they would have already done it. What is the most bizarre thing you have searched? Willing to?
At one point, I looked up how long somebody could be in freezing cold water before they would die.
And how long is that?
It ranges. It has to do with the temperature of the water. It's anywhere from 12 seconds to a minute.
Oh, okay. Now that's a good inquiry. You know, how long will it take for someone to die in cold water? Not very specific though. You should be good. Now, if it was like, how many rolls of duct tape do I need to, or how many plastic bags am I gonna need to really wrap up a dead body? You know, that's pretty specific. You know, or a good place to dump a body would probably get you on the list. I mean, you never searched that,
right? No.
Okay.
I have looked up how long it takes for pigs to eat a body. I don't remember what I came up with, but yeah, I did look that up at one point.
That was even in a movie. That was in what was that movie called? God dang. Snatched. That was the name of the movie, I think.
It was also in the Hannibal TV show for Hannibal Lecter.
Right, that's right. Have a pig farm. Do you have a pig farm? Pig farm or a tiger farm? Because I'm pretty sure Carol Baskins did something with her husband. We don't know. Carol fucking Baskins. I got a tiger behind me. I gotta represent Tiger King. Sorry. See, we were all obsessed with that show. That was just a reality show. People doing stupid stuff. It was not even about tigers anymore. Jesus. Sorry. We were talking about serial killers. You got a favorite serial killer? Not that you simp to them, but
I don't know if you'd call them favorite serial killers. I would say most interesting serial killer.
Yeah, that's
I don't know
better
if you
wording.
could say that any of them were any good. Let's see. I definitely like Ted Bundy because he was around for a long time. He escaped jail a bunch of times.
Oh, you
went and
like
lived
that
in the
Bundy.
mountains for like a few weeks.
Oh, he escaped jail a lot.
I think he's fascinating. Yeah, he did. And he
He-
walked right out of there too. They left him in a library to look up his a way to defend himself in a court, and weren't paying attention to him. He went right out the window.
it's
So
that. It's
yeah,
that.
I think he was.
It's what happens when you look really good. When you look damn sexy all the time, even to other guys, a good-looking guy, you're just like, you know what? Hey, you mind if I go to the library? Oh, sure, yeah. You look like an upstanding individual. You'll be fine.
Yeah,
Never mind the
I mean,
fact
he
that,
was very well put together. He was very well spoken. I mean, he didn't come across as a crazy asshole. So
right? And when he went to prison, like before, like was it for homicide or was it for other things that just didn't really? Because did they ever really connect all the dots before they really put him in at the end?
I think the second time, it was either the first time or the second time he escaped. I'm pretty sure it was the second time. He went through a fraternity house and just started going from room to room killing people.
Oh, shit. Jesus Christ. God. Killing machine.
Another big favorite of mine was John Wayne Gacy. He was very interesting as well.
Yes. Now, Gacy. Was that the one that would?
He spent his entire life trying to get approval from his dad, and his dad just put him down all his life, told him he was going to grow up to be gay. Then he ended up getting married and having kids, and his father finally gave him his support, and he started dressing up as a clown for kids' birthday parties, and
that's right.
He was running a KFC. And from the KFC, he was actually inviting over young men that worked at his KFC, and then he was showing them magic tricks and handcuffing them, and once he had them handcuffed, he was raping them and killing them and hiding them in the crawl space under his house.
Well, I guess his dad was right that he was gay. He just didn't really want to admit it.
Right.
But if you could turn back time, if you could turn back time and reach these individuals before they get messed up or before they experience the life experience that they did that warped them, change a few things, make it where the father was like being the whole different tone, like, son, I think you might be gay. Let's come out of the closet. Be more welcoming and inviting instead of being all hateful and being a huge bigot towards him, Man.
Mm-hmm.
Because he
friends of the family said that his father would come home and just beat him for no reason, and just he was shown no love. Yeah, he just had no love as a child.
See, and that right there, I cannot stand that. Like parents who just go home and just beat the living shit out of their kids just because they're pissed off, just because they think that they might be gay, just because they feel some sort of like justification for it. I cannot stand that. Like.
He said that he didn't think his son was manly enough, so he was trying to beat him to make him more manly.
Yeah, we turn back. We go back in time and we replace his dad with a much nicer person. Just change that, and John Wayne Gacy would never have happened.
Right.
Man.
Or he might have. You never know. He might have just been a psychopath that enjoyed killing people.
That is true, too, because Ted Bundy, did Ted Bundy, what was his life like? I just know he had head trauma, but
he was born to a woman outside of wedlock. She actually had to go to a convent of some kind to give birth to him, and didn't know who his father was. He took his stepfather's last name when they got married, and the man was awful to him. So still bad parental figures.
Well, okay. Obviously, I'm looking for something. Is there a serial killer that you know of that did not necessarily have a bad traumatic childhood, at least compared to others? Whereas like the one that shows that, you don't really need to have a bad childhood to become a psychopathic killer.
Not that I know of. It seems like they've all got kind of bad backstories.
Huh. Now I'm thinking about that. Chat, help me out there. Help us out there. Is there a serial killer that compared to other serial killers may not have had that bad of a past childhood, and we'll see about that, because it seems like a thing. I don't know. It seems like if you were to do something early on before the trauma would have happened, that maybe you could have nipped it in the bud. But that's, that's hindsight, and there's always a chance that maybe it's not it. Maybe it's something else. Man.
So, Dennis Rader, BTK, he actually had a fantastic childhood.
BTK. Okay, there we go. BTK. All right, so
he actually grew up in a very, very normal household. It didn't say he was exceptionally well, but it said he grew up in a very normal household.
That's right. And what was his... And this dude... Oh, okay, BTK. This guy looked...
Torture, kill. He killed 10 people between 1974 and 1991.
And when I'm looking at images of this guy, like if I were to just see, this guy looks like my neighbor. Like this guy looks like some guy I would see every day.
He just looks completely normal.
Right? It's like, what does normal even mean?
Just leading a second life. Nobody expected it of him.
He looks like a school principal. He looks like he can be a principal.
He does.
Okay, there's the exception to the rule, or the one that shows you don't have to have a bad childhood. Did he have head trauma? I'm curious.
I haven't seen anything about head trauma on him.
Because that's a pattern that seems to be present. I'm curious about that. Let's see. Brain trauma is commonly cited in serial killer cases. Let's see. He was an unremarkable childhood, though he later claims he was dropped on his head as a kid. So,
well, there we go.
Maybe he was dropped on his head as a kid. And maybe his parents actually did that. My parents said that, but I think they were joking. Because they said it about my sister, too. And they said it...
I think every parent says that.
Right. Man. Okay. Okay. Now, you are a horror fan. Why? What's your fascination with horror?
Well, from the time I was little, the first movie I remember seeing was Nightmare on Elm Street. Because my dad loved horror movies, and he decided he was going to watch them with me. So, since I was like 5 years old, 10 years old, I was having dreams that Freddy was going to kill me in the middle of the night. So,
oh, damn.
I don't know. I guess I just liked it ever since that.
Okay. I like that. Early childhood exposure. And it didn't warp... Well, it warped you just enough to write these books, but it didn't warp you to want to go stab on people that we know of.
No. Well, I did join the Marine Corps, so I am trained to kill.
You are trained to kill, and have you killed in combat?
No, no, I didn't go. I was I medically retired, broke both femurs, so I didn't go anywhere.
Now, got a horror trivia for you. Okay, the rules are very, very simple. So I'm going to pull 5 cards from this deck. I'm not making this game up. This game exists. I'm not pulling these questions out of my ass. Okay. Each card has 2 questions.
Okay.
If you win 3 of the cards, you get $10. If you don't win 3 of the cards, obviously you don't win, you lose. And then I open the show to callers, if we get any, so that they can win $10, maybe. You can still, of course, stay on the line to hop them on or cheer them on or whatever you want to do. While I get started with this, let's go ahead and plug your stuff again. Where can people find your books? Obviously Amazon, but feel free to plug your stuff.
So all of my books are available on Amazon, and the Stranger series are actually available on Barnes and Noble as well. And all three books will be available on Audible. One of them just wrapped up. It's going to be out very, very soon, as soon as they finish doing the editing. Witch Hunter will be next, and followed by Stranger Still. So they are all currently in production.
Okay. All right, here we go. The first card. Are you ready? Are you ready?
Ready. Ready.
Stuntman Kane Hodder is best known for his portrayal as what character?
Ooh.
I was going to try to get him on the show last year. Oh, I gotta add a time limit. You're not going to Google, are you?
If he is on the show, no. If he is on the show, I want to come back. Because I'll bring my hockey mask with me.
Oh, so just say it. Just say it.
That would be Jason Voorhees.
Yes, that would be Jason Voorhees. Okay. All right. What 1988 film directed by Wes Craven centers around an anthropologist? Sorry. It centers around an anthropologist sent to Haiti to research voodoo.
Ooh, I only saw a portion of this movie, but I've seen everything by Wes Craven. I never finished this movie. The snake something. Serpent in the Rainbow.
Serpent in the Rainbow. You are absolutely correct. All right, that's the first card. All right. One in. All right. In the 1996 movie Jack Frost, the serial killer mutates into what? Is simple.
Snowman.
Yes.
Wait.
Yes, it's a snowman. Okay. Where does Ashley Williams work in the movie Army of Darkness?
I have no clue. I don't remember that one.
Come on, you're giving up? We'll give you 15
I don't
seconds.
know that one.
Okay. All right. You still have a chance. It's 3 out of 5.
It's not a movie I saw. Yeah, I won't be able to guess that one.
It was S-Mart. Shop Smart. Shop S-Mart. Okay. In Friday the 13th Part 2, what does Jason Voorhees wear as his mask?
Ooh.
You don't have to be 100% exact on this one, but
There's so many of these movies. Wait, that's the one where it goes back and like how he was made and everything, and he's in like the house with the girl, and okay. He had like a burlap sack on his head or something like that.
that would be it. That's it. Some of the chest said spandex. Yes, that's what it should have been. Yes. The only way I would greenlight
Pantyhose.
if I were to do a Friday the 13th reboot, it'd be going back to Jason Voorhees before he even wore the mask and be wearing spandex. Okay? People wouldn't like it. All right. Now, the second question.
Well, I mean, he did have one ugly face.
He did.
For sure.
Mm-hmm. All right. Second question on this card. Who played the main character in the 1957 film I Was a Teenage Werewolf?
Ooh. I don't think I saw this one either. I haven't seen a lot of the really old ones.
All right.
Yeah, I have no clue. I haven't gone back that far in my horror movie repertoire.
That would be Michael Landon. Okay. So where we're at here, you have to get these next two cards, okay? That's how you win. So if you don't win the next one, it's going to be an impossible victory. Okay?
Okay.
We're not recounting here. There's nothing to recount. Okay? Take that.
I demand a recount.
Okay. I'll count my 5 cards. There's no Anyway. In the Puppet Master series, how did the female doll murder her victims?
Ooh, I just watched this with my kid the other day.
Nice.
He's terrified of scary movies.
Yeah, my son can't even watch The Addams Family. Oh, no. No, hold on. My son couldn't even watch Hoobie's Halloween on Netflix, the Adam Sandler Halloween movie, which is horrible. I mean, if you like Adam Sandler, you might like it, but it's like I like Little Nicky when in the 90s. Was that 90s or 2000? I don't know, but that was okay.
No, that was definitely the 90s.
But
and that was she spit the worms. Yeah, leeches.
Leeches? Okay. All right. Second question on the card. What device do the group of New York friends use to capture the terrifying events that occurred in Cloverfield?
Video camera.
Yeah, that's very easy. And a handheld video camera. Okay, that's it. Boom. One more card. You have to get this. You have to get this. This is it. This is the last one. All right. In the 1977 film...
Cue the Jeopardy.
1977 film, The Hills Have Eyes. The father and the three sons are named after what celestial bodies? I think the question kind of gives it away. The father and the three sons are named after what celestial bodies?
Stars.
Is that your final answer?
Yeah.
That is incorrect. It would be planets. It would be planets. That was good try. Good try. But we lost.
So close.
You lost it. So, what I'll do here is I'll drop the link to the Discord voice chat into the chat here. You guys can come in. Just make sure your mic is working and all that. And y'all could try. Y'all can go for it. Meantime, while I wait for that, Candace Adams, if you were to give an elevator pitch for one of your books, let's say Strangers, and then Stranger Still, what would your elevator pitch be?
How well do you know the people in your life? Do they ever give you reasons to make you wonder if they're telling you the truth or not? If you've ever wondered if your husband was telling you the truth about where he was in the middle of the night or who he was talking to, then there's a chance that you may not know him at all.
Nice. Okay. Meantime, while I wait for people to come in, if they do want to try it, some people get shy. Do you have a guilty pleasure movie? A guilty pleasure horror movie? One that's so bad you probably shouldn't like it, but you do like it. You can't help yourself.
The Conjuring movies?
The Conjuring?
Yeah.
Oh,
They're
yeah.
great. So many jump scares. Yeah, I like them. I think they're good.
Oh man, I like horror movies, but Conjuring
That or you know what else I liked that is ridiculous? You shouldn't even like this movie, but Signs. M. Night Shyamalan.
Yeah, right? People love that movie. Like, oh man,
There's
this movie's so great.
There's no special effects in that movie. Like, you see snippets of that might have been an alien, but yeah, it scares you to death without ever showing anything.
Well, that's actually one thing I do kind of praise it for. That at least he didn't show us too much, because some movies they show you what it is and it's like that's what you're scared of, like that's the thing, or the CG is so bad it just takes you out of it.
Right.
It was just like, water kills these aliens. Why water? And M. Night Shyamalan has a thing with water. Like, I think he almost drowned as a kid or something. He had a fear of water. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But the sign.
I made my 14-year-old son watch that with me the other night, and he had to go to bed with a glass of water beside his bed.
With a fully loaded water gun too. Give him that, yeah. Okay. What about Beetlejuice? You still like Beetlejuice? You think it holds up, or were you not a fan?
I thought it was hilarious when I was a kid. I heard that there might be a remake in the works right now.
I heard that too, but I mean, are they going to use as Michael?
I just don't know how anybody but Michael. Yeah, I was gonna say I don't know if anybody but Michael Keaton could play that part.
Right? You would have to have someone who has the right amount of charm. See, they, especially now with the way things are, they might be tempted to make Beetlejuice less kind of chauvinistic. He kind of has he kind of has a vibe. But that was the Beetlejuice. That's who he is, and he has a sort of he has charisma. Look, charisma goes a long way.
He does.
That's what helps comedians a lot. They could say offensive jokes, and they could do it with charisma. And it's like,
we were talking about Ted Bundy earlier.
Yeah. Ted Bundy kills people. A lot of people. But people still want to bang him. They still want to hug him. They want to let him out of prison because they think, oh, he's an upstanding guy. He just murdered a whole fraternity. Oh, he's an upstanding individual. He won't do it again.
Well, they probably deserved it.
He was I heard he was a bad driver too, right? Like he was a horrible driver.
Yeah, he really was, and he drove a little Beetle too.
Man, I guess we're not gonna get any callers that we're gonna try this. That is a shame. That is a damn shame, man. You guys are shy. $10. All right. Well, guess, Candace, do you want another stab at it? You can have another stab.
You gonna give me another card?
Well, it would be a clean slate. Whoa. You're asking the house to give you another deal. That's gonna be a clean slate. And the next 5 cards, you just have to get 3 right. Okay.
Okay, let's do it.
Okay. By the way, I want this to be a thing. All right. The reason why the show is Horror Talk Radio instead of Dead Man's Stone Podcast is I want the show to have more like a radio sort of vibe to it. I think it's in prizes, contests, things like that. Anyway, so let people know that on this show they could win prizes and stuff. All they have to do is, hang around. Okay. Here you go. In the 1985 film Cat's Eye, what creature attempts to steal the life out of a young Drew Barrymore?
Man, I hated this movie when I was a kid. It's a cat, though.
Are you sure it's a cat?
Right? It was a cat?
It was not a cat. You think it's a cat based on the title.
Right. That's a movie I didn't like.
It was a troll. A troll.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I remember that.
Okay. You still have 4 cards left. Okay. What 1990 movie involving a series of short horror films features performances of Steve I'm horrible with his name. Buscemi, Julianne Moore, and Christian Slater.
You
know who I'm talking about, though.
Probably
Steve,
own these.
he always looks like that. He's that weird, creepy-looking guy.
Buscemi?
Yeah, that guy.
Tales from the Dark Side?
Yes, that's it. All right. What mythical creature did What mythical creature did Hadley hope to see as a killer in Cabin in the Woods? So in Cabin in the Woods,
is that the movie?
Hadley. I'll give you a hint. Hadley was one of the you want to call them technicians, one of the scientists, not scientists, one of the lab techs that were running the show. He was wanting to see a mythical creature, but it didn't really happen, but it did.
It's like a Wendigo or a werewolf.
Incorrect. It was the merman. He wanted to see the merman, and it finally happens at the end, and he dies.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
That was a guy. He had great lines like tequila's my woman. Yeah, they had a great party. They're having a party in there while those kids were suffering and dying in the cabin. This is part of the show. They're trying to sacrifice them.
I get that one mixed up with that movie, Cabin Fever, when they all drank the water that was contaminated.
Okay.
Too many cabin movies.
What room number was Danny Torrance told to avoid in The Shining?
Ooh, I just watched Dr. Sleep the other day.
It's a 3-digit number. And it's not 666.
237.
Sorry, repeat that again?
In the book, it's 217. In the movie, it's 237. They changed it for the movie.
237?
Yes.
Are you sure it's 237 and not 227?
I'm pretty sure it's 237. Now I'm going to Google it because now I want to know.
The card says room 227. I believe it's room 227.
It says 227? Let me look it up. Shining hotel room. Your card is wrong. It is 237.
What? Let's see.
Google it.
Okay. $237 is correct. Wow. This card. Who wrote this? These weren't even mine. This is an actual card game. This is like that Seinfeld episode.
Now you need a Sharpie.
This is like that Seinfeld episode where they're doing Trivia Pursuit. It's like the Moors. No, is that the card says Moops? I don't know if you never watched Seinfeld. 237. Well, technically that's right. It's wrong on the. It's not the correct answer according to the card. Wait. How? These cards are suspect. What's going on? We're gonna have to recount the vote here because these cards are suspect.
Hey, like I said earlier, I demand a recount.
Okay. All right. But you got that right. Okay. A thick fog rolls in after a powerful storm, bringing deadly creatures in what 2007 film directed by Frank Darabont?
Can you say that again? You cut out just a little bit.
Okay. In this movie, it's a movie. A thick fog rolls in after a powerful storm, bringing deadly creatures in what 2007 film? It's based off of a Stephen King book.
Isn't it just called The Fog?
Right. It's I'll give you a hint. It's not The Fog, but it could have been named The Fog, because boy, that was pretty cloudy.
The Mist. It was The Mist.
Yeah. That's my number one complaint about that. That's not a mist, man. That's a fog.
Yeah, and they were in the grocery store, and like the prehistoric creatures were trying to eat them.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I never got over the end of that movie.
Yeah, right? It's an ending that you could probably get away with in a book, but in a movie, it's like, dude, if you just waited for a little bit longer. You just
wasted your whole family.
Right?
It was awful.
Help was literally on the way. Oh, man. And the best creatures were shown at the end. The big thing that was towering over, boom, boom. That thing was crazy looking.
It reminded me of those big things in Star Wars.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he shot his own son, man.
And then the army rolls in.
Right? That guy has to kill himself after that. There's no way. All right, so you got that card.
That was his last bullet, wasn't it? Wasn't that his last bullet that he killed his kid with?
Yeah, but later on he probably drank himself to death or something. I mean,
Went and bought some more.
yeah. Okay. This film, written by Quentin Tarantino, about a gang of vampires in a bar, was also made into a TV series.
From Dusk Till Dawn.
Yes. That was a fun movie. Okay. What do the gang of killers wear for disguises in the 2011 movie You're Next?
Ooh.
Obviously, it's masks, but what kind of masks? And let me make sure this card is accurate too.
I don't remember. I don't think I remember that one.
It would be animal masks.
I'm gonna...
Animal masks. And that would be it. Animal masks. Okay.
Yeah, I don't remember that one.
Mm-hmm. Someone in the chat said Monopoly mask. Okay. I'll tell you what. I'll give you this one card. If you get this one right, you get the prize, okay? Here you go.
Is this a consolation since your card was wrong?
Right. That's what it is. But this one looks pretty tough. Okay. What is the name of the ancient horned demonic spirit who punishes those who have lost the Christmas spirit?
Krampus.
That's the easy one.
That would be Krampus.
Yep, Krampus. Actually, the card says Jesus, so you're wrong there too. No, I'm just joking. What do you? Whoa, who wrote this? No. Reverend Cotton Marcus participates in a documentary trying to expose individuals who fake being possessed in this 2010 supernatural horror film.
Ooh. The Last Exorcism. I watched that on Halloween.
All right. You got that correct. Well, Candace Adams, you won $10. You won $10. There you go. I'll send that to you via PayPal. Just give me the information later and I'll send that to you. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for hanging out with us on Horror Talk Radio. Definitely check out Candace Adams' books. Okay?
I'm going to link my my page on Amazon that will give you access to all of my books, including my pre-orders.
Nice.
So there's that.
And feel free to drop those links too in the Discord.
Okay.
You can hang out there. There is a not safe for work section. Don't mind that if that's not your thing.
Don't worry, I'm over the age of 18.
Okay, that's good. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank y'all so much. Press the like button, share, subscribe. Help get the word out about Horror Talk Radio as well. Especially, like I said, we'll be giving out more prizes. We stream every Monday, Wednesday, Friday nights on YouTube and on Spreaker. Also available in podcast form afterwards that people can enjoy on just about any podcast app. Whether for iTunes or use... man, there's so many different apps now. I know we're even on like iHeartRadio and stuff like and Spotify. So pretty much everywhere. You guys take it easy. Have a good one.